What's going on, everybody? Tim here, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about a topic that the powers that be, the people who run the world, who set up the system we currently live in, would rather we didn't talk about. I almost started to call it a secret, but it's not a secret. We all know it. We just don't think about it. It's been actively hidden from us. That topic I want to talk about today is the fact that the system is dependent on us. The system is dependent on the worker/consumer to keep going. If we all stop working and consuming, the system collapses. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that'd be horrible. But the reason we're even talking about this is because the system is not set up to benefit us, the worker/consumer. So we have a system that we empower, that we keep going, that is actively taking away our time, energy, and wealth from us. So we are powering a system that is taking our power away from us.
I agree with this mofo. He could not have articulated my thoughts more clearly, which is probably why he's articulating a lot of people's frustration, which is probably why this video clip went viral. Because we've made ourselves expendable at the cost of profit. We created this whole paradigm. How the heck did we make ourselves completely and utterly expendable at the cost of profit? I found this money hat filter because that's what I feel like has happened to all of us. We've been duped by money. Our priorities are just ass backwards. Oh my God. Everything's just ass backwards. All the things that are really true wealth are not necessarily money. We all know we've seen too many miserable rich people. I've seen too many of them. I'm just saying. We seek status and money to placate our egos as opposed to, do we really need this shit? Do we need this overconsumption of just all this shit that just goes into landfills? We get all this shit, and for a minute, it helps us, but then we get bored with it and we need something else. I don't know. More about quality of experience, connection, health, which are to me more signs of wealth than just showing off all the things and gadgets I have and shit. I don't know. Seems like a lot of people with money, they like to just show off. Just look at this fancy car I bought, look at this huge house, look at this. It's all just to show off, and it's just I don't know. But anyway, but this guy's right. We've bought into it. How do we stop this? We have more control than we think, but I don't know what necessarily the solution is, but all I know is that this hat is fitting because we've been brainwashed by money.
The more power we give it, the less power we have. That's a problem. But here's the clever little situation that's developed. Since they know that the system is dependent on us, what they have cleverly done is made it seem like we're dependent on the system. Actually, in a healthy society, in a healthy system, it's symbiotic. That you help each other. But in our system, we're the backbone of it, but they've cleverly made it seem like we need them. They need us, but they've made it seem like we need them. They do this by getting us as deeply indebted to the system as possible. Now, we all start out, most of us 18, we ain't got no money. Yeah, you gotta go work in the system to get some money. But that wasn't enough, right? That's not enough. Because if you go in the system, equal, you might get up out of there soon. So why do you think they came up with the ever increasing cost of college? In the messaging of hey, if you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure in the system.
Oh my God, this guy. speaking facts. The psychological and emotional burden I had from my college debt. And I didn't even have a lot. I didn't even have that big of a debt, considered how some people have like insane amounts of debts, but it was still it was horrible. Because college, I don't think it just didn't teach me, they don't teach you like life skills. They just teach you some bullshit topics. Now, it's even gotten worse now. But what's the point of it if it's not teaching you life skills, like how to finance and how to manage your money and how to have healthy relationships? And I don't know, all the shit that we learn, I don't even know. It's like sometimes I wonder a lot of the shit that we learn is just kind of just stupid. I'm just saying. And then now, like kids paying insane amounts of money going to these, that what used to be high status colleges that are like, are coming out like less intelligent than they're going in. I don't know, our priorities are just wrong, you know, and so many people get in debt for status and just to look how important you are. But why is like being important so important? Like, who cares if you're not important? Like, really, like, who cares if you just have a great group of friends, high quality of life, of just in like simple, like you just have just your basic needs met, not all this extra shit to prove how great you are and shit. And we see so many like stories about rich people that are like creepy and weird. Like, I don't know, I just think extreme wealth makes people act weird and they just start getting creepy and weird and like they get out of touch. I mean, I feel like the excess of anything, you know, causes issues. Like excess with consumption, like we see with hoarding, excess with food, you know, excess with building muscles. Like what is the survival like utility of like having muscles this big? Really? This is ego. But like the accumulation of wealth and money and buying into the system and all this shit, that's also, a lot of times I feel like it's like ego, like driven. Polluting our own environment in the name of consumption, also that we can be special and shit. And really, like, I don't know, I just think, and then now we're having like isolation epidemics and we're not connecting, and like the dynamics between men and women are falling apart, and I don't know, just everything just seems like our priorities are just really off.
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of this stuff. There's nothing wrong with college. There's nothing wrong with a car. There's nothing wrong with working, having a family. Nothing wrong with any of that. The problem comes when they push these things on you and make you feel like you have to do them at a certain level within certain time periods. Instead of just letting people naturally figure out when they want to do all this stuff, is pushed on you, especially the college thing, at a very young age when you don't know no better. And it's pushed on you like there's something wrong with you if you don't do these things by these certain times.
In a way, we've been conditioned to be sheeple most of our life. We're forced to have to go sit in perfect little neatly lined rows of desks in schools. We're forced to have to go do that. Everywhere you go are ads so that we can buy shit we don't need. Everywhere we go is just like our visual data is like just overwhelmed with just advertisement, which is all that fucking time and effort and money spent on ads, like, you know, like, I don't know, I hate ads and I hate marketing because most of it's just to sell us shit we don't need and just that fills landfills. These profit-based models, you know, like even my company just folded because it got bought out and it wasn't making enough profit, so they just closed down and like affected like God only knows how many people's lives, all because some 2% of like people, greedy mofos at the top that probably look like penises, because it seems like all those dudes that like roll up at the top, they always look like walking penises or aliens or something. They look like lizard creepy people. I don't know, either penises or aliens, and they always have blow up dolls. These like rich like creepy dudes. They just look like penises, and like then they have blow up dolls for girlfriends. So it's like, ooh. But I don't. And then, you know, people get really frustrated. Like, like that Luigi Mangione kid. It was a talented, privileged, really handsome kid that just blew up his life over these greedy ass douchebags that are just have made the medical industry just all about profit and fuck people. You know, what the hell's the point of it if you're not helping people? But ew. And so he feels like he needs to kill some mofo. Like, that's not even solving the problem. That has not stopped. This kid blew up his life, and it didn't stop these greedy jerkwads. Just, you know, they just went about their business, counting their coins, you know. And this kid that had so much going for him, like, kind of blew up his life, you know. We're all so duped by false misinformation, and now with like AI, people can just make up people, just make them say whatever, and people believe it. Like, I would have to say nowadays, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. I'm seriously like, and not necessarily believe it unless it pertains to your own direct experience, because people are going to be manipulating AI in order to, you know, meet an agenda and like make people, and you know, incentivize rage and all this stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, the movie called They Live, like that movie's kind of like prophetic. Like, seriously though, that movie, like, oh my god, it's like so prophetic. And about that scene where they put on the glasses and like you can see, like, dude, that's what it's like, you know, buy more, like, consume, obey. Like, I mean, that movie was like literally prophetic. This guy is an example of how the system keeps you stuck. And many of us that are not part of the 1% can relate to this mofo, where you feel like you can just never catch up. You can never work hard enough. You can never just make enough. You can never get anywhere fast enough because to make money, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Everything's on money, 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 and you're like, your whole vision becomes jaded by just following the dollar bill, like making money because you need to pay your rent and pay your bills and shit, and you feel like your whole life is about making money and shit. And you're like, really? Is that really all there is to this? You're struggling to make money, right? And then other people that have more money than they can spend in a lifetime, you just get hooked on drugs and do some crazy shit, or like waste their life away or something, and do weird, I don't know, it's just so wild, just the discrepancies and just weird shit that happens, you know. It's like, what this guy's talking about is exactly how we get stuck in the system.
Without fail, this always happens. I was really, really close to having a phenomenal couple months, stacking my chips, putting money away. Working 7 days a week, grinding, side hustles, everything was in line. I was disciplined. I was firing on all cylinders, patting myself on the back, being this tough guy. And without fail, like always, some unforeseen BS arises to take the wind out of my sails.
It's rigged to be like this.
And it made me think about how virtually impossible it is to get ahead today. The more I look around and the more I talk to people, nobody is doing that well. As hard as it is to survive, as much as the cost of living has outpaced the average income, nobody's putting money away. And the few lucky people that have got their spending down so much to where they can put a couple bucks away, you'll probably agree with me, no matter what you do, this sick sense of humor that the universe has seems to always come and get you. Something always comes up. Just when you think you're getting ahead, transmission goes out. You blow your engine.
These corporations are evil. They're fucking evil. Like, they're just evil. And then they literally blindfold us. We can't see. Like, you can't see through a dollar bill. Like, this filter. Like, we're just totally at the mercy, like, you know, they try to get us like that we're at the mercy. We have to try to find a way out. Like, it's really, we have more power than we think. We just have to fucking figure out how to wield it correctly. And like the other guy said, get out of the system, you know, which, oh man, because it's just not sustainable.